Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to dive into the world of authentication and see how to implement it using Clerk and a Next JS application. Clerk introduced a new era of authentication with features like passwordless logins, multi-factor authentications, and social logins that fills the gap between user experience and modern connectivity. That's not all. Clerk customization options allow you to tailor the authentication UI to your app style. Now let's see how Clerk looks in a Next.js project. As you can see, I have a simple application with a header and some text in here. So we have 4 routes and we are currently in homepage. Other routes except homepage is protected and I won't be able to open them unless I sign in first. If I try to open this about page, you can see Clerk will ask me to sign in first, and this form is built by Clerk itself. So we can either sign in here or move to the sign in route. In here we have 3 options to sign in, using GitHub, Google, or our email address. Clerk provides a list of long social platforms that you can add them to your authentication form. Now let's log in using Google. Once we are signed in, we will be redirected to the About page. You can use Clerk's route protection to specify where you should be redirected once you are authenticated. Up here you can see this little icon. It is provided by Clerk as well. Inside this Manage Account page, you can update your profile image, remove your email or add a new one. You can set a password and much more. And using this button, you can sign out from your application. Finally, you can print your profile details using another Clerk built-in component on a separate page. So it will save you too much time to build this entire page from scratch. We can sign up as well. You can open the sign up page using this little button in here. Inside this page, we have 3 options again for sign up. But this time, let's sign up using email address. When the user click continue, they will receive a verification code in their email. Just type the code in here. You can see we have successfully added a new account. Alright guys, that's what we are going to build in this video. Now let's get started. Okay guys, I'm inside my VS Code. As you can see, I have an empty folder in here. So let's generate our application inside this empty folder. I'm going to open the terminal here and just write npx create -next -app at latest. We are going to add this / to install that in the current directory. Now we are going to choose TypeScript. We are not using slint. We are going to use Tailwindcss and not source directory. And app router is very important. We need to choose yes here. And finally, we are gonna say no to import alias. Now hit the enter. As you can see, our application is ready in here. Inside this app folder, we have layout component, which is the structure of our application. And this page is our home page. Inside this home component, I'm gonna get rid of all the code and just print this hello world in here. I'm gonna delete this image. Okay. Now let's run our application by writing npm run dev. Okay guys, you can see we have hello world in the browser. Now let's add our navigation along with the body text. Okay. So I'm gonna come back here. We are gonna have a component folder inside this directory. Inside here, we are gonna have header.tsx component. Let's generate the React code in here. Now I'm gonna add this header inside this layout. So it will be displayed in all the pages that we have inside the application. Okay, if I refresh the page, you can see we have the header text with the hello world. Okay, now I'm gonna open this global.css and just delete this body style in here. Alright, now let's implement our header component. At first I'm gonna change this div to be header, and inside here we need to have a div container. So in the left side we are gonna have a logo, and in the right side we are gonna have a navigation. So our first nav is gonna be home, about, service, and this sign in that will direct us to sign in page. Okay, so for the header we need to have a background of blue 400. For this div container we are gonna have flex, items center, and justify between. So you can see we have separated them. Now let's add a weight of 80% and MX auto to bring them in the middle. Okay, for this unorderless we are gonna have flex, item center, and gap is going to be 3. Okay, they are looking good now. And now let's have a little height for this container div. Alright, now our navigation is looking good. Inside this home page we are gonna write all our body text. The first one is gonna be heading 1, welcome to Clerk Auth, and we need to have this paragraph. So it is just a simple body text for our home page. Now let's style this. Weight is gonna be 80%, MX auto, padding Y from top and bottom is gonna be 8. Okay, for this heading 1, the text is gonna be 30 pixels. Alright, now they are looking good. As you can see inside this navigation, we need to have some links to direct us to somewhere. So I'm gonna come back here, and for the home we need to have a link. Just import that from next link. Okay, and href is gonna be the slash. So slash is the home page, and we need to have a link for the about page as well, and it will go to slash about component. We don't want to add any link for the service, but we need to have a link for sign in, which will be directed to slash sign-in. Alright, now if I click this about, you can see I will be directed to the 404 page because we don't have that component yet. Now let's add it. Inside this app folder I'm gonna have an about component, and inside here just write page.tsx. Make sure to name the component page, otherwise it will not work. Okay, now if I click this link, you can see we have this page text. Alright, now I'm gonna change this text to be this is about page. Alright, okay guys, our demo is ready. Now let's implement our Clerk authentication. Now I'm gonna open Clerk website in here, and as you can see we have a sign in button and a sign up. So I don't have any account yet, so I'm gonna click the sign up button here. As you can see, you can write your names, email, and password manually in here, or you can sign in using GitHub, but in this case I'm gonna choose continue with Google. Once you have opened a new account in here, you will face this empty dashboard where you can add our application. So just click this add application here, and you need to write your application name. And down here you can choose whatever social medias you want to add to your authentication. So for now we just chose Google and this GitHub. You can choose other platforms as well, but for now we are gonna use only GitHub and Google along with email address. Okay, now let's click this create application here. As you can see, our application is created here. Okay, now down here just click this continue in doc, Now inside this documentation, as you can see, we have this command to install the Clerk Authentication. So I'm gonna copy that and paste that in the terminal here. Okay. Now if I scroll down, you can see we have an API key. So we need to have a file called .env.local. So I'm gonna copy this API key in here and make a .env.local file inside the root of my application and just paste them inside here. Okay. Now let's see what else we have. Now you can see we need to wrap our application with this Clerk provider. So I'm gonna come back here to the layout component and I'm gonna copy all of this structure from here. Now we need to import this Clerk provider and wrap our application with that. Alright, we are done with this part. The next part is we need to have a middleware. As you can see, we need to have a file middleware.ts. So I'm gonna copy this all from here. Now in the root of our application, we need to add a new file called middleware.ts and just paste the code inside. So this file will help us protect our routes. By default, all our pages are protected, but inside this Auth middleware function, we can specify what pages we don't want to be protected. Just open this object here and write public route. Inside this array, you can add all the pages that you don't want to be protected. In this case, I want the home page to not be protected, but the rest of my pages will be protected. Now as you can see, my home page is not protected, but if I try to open the about page, you can see I will be redirected to the Clerk built-in sign-in component. Now let's add our sign-in and sign-up component. So the first one is the sign-up. As you can see, it shows how we can add this file. So I'm gonna come back and we need to have a folder here called sign-app. Inside here, we need to have another folder, double braces, sign-app, and just close this double braces here. And finally, inside here, we need to have a page.tsx. This is how we can add our sign-up and sign-in component. Now inside here, I'm gonna copy and paste this component. Alright. Now let's add our sign-in component as well. So we can follow the same process to add our sign-in component. Okay. And just copy and paste this component inside here. Alright. Now if I scroll down, you can see we need to update our environment variables. So I'm gonna copy this from here and add that inside this .env.local. So in here we need to specify what page we will be redirected after we sign in and sign up. Okay. So when we signed in, we want this application to be redirected to about page. And when we signed up, we want to be redirected to the home page. Alright. Now let's style this sign-in component. So we are going to bring that in the middle. I'm going to wrap that with a div. And the height is going to be screen. And we need to use grid here and place item center. So it will help us bring the component in the middle. Alright, now let's sign in here. As you can see, we are now authenticated. I can see this about page here. But as you can see, we still have the sign in text in here. So instead, we need to have a sign out text here. So Clerk documentation provides another component which is called user button. So we need to import that inside this header. Now if I open the browser here, you can see we have a little icon in here. If I click that, it will open a new module. So I can manage my account here and I can sign out as well. Now if I click this manage account, you can see all the details about the profile has been printed here, such as profile image, email, and other things that you can check them yourself. Okay, now I can sign out here, but as soon as I sign out from here, you can see this icon will be disappeared, but we still have the sign in text here. Now let's sign in again. As you can see, we have this icon back, but now we need to set a condition. So when we are signed in, we want to show this little icon. When we are signed out, we want to show this sign in text. Okay, so I'm gonna come back here. So to make that condition, we need to import another function called Auth, and we need to destructure this user ID from this Auth function. So when the user is signed in, this user ID will be true, otherwise it will be false. Okay, now down here we need to set a condition. We are going to say if there is no user ID, we want to print this text, otherwise we want to print this little icon. Okay, now you can see this sign in text is gone because we are currently signed in. But if I sign out here, you can see the sign in text will come back. Alright, now let's sign in again. This little icon is back here, and if I sign out, you can see the text is coming back here. Now let's check our sign up page. So I'm gonna click this sign up here. As you can see, we need to style this sign up page as well. I'm going to do the same process as I did in the sign in component. Now it's in the middle. Okay, now this time we are going to sign up using the email. So I'm gonna write my email here and add a password. If I click this continue, you can see a verification code will go to my email. So I'm gonna write that verification code in here, and I will be redirected to my home page. You can see we have specified that after the sign up, we should be redirected to the home page. Okay, now you can see we have this little icon. I can change my profile here. Actually, you can print this profile in a separate component as well. So I'm gonna change the service to be profile. Okay, and let's add this profile page in here. Now inside this Clerk documentation, just look for user profile. As you can see, there is a component called user profile. Just copy that component from here and import that inside this profile component. Now we need to print that profile component, and again we need to style that like before to bring that in the middle. Okay guys, we have successfully added our profile inside this profile component. As you can see, all the details are in here, similar to this little icon. Okay, now if I navigate to Clerk website, you can see Clerk provides us a dashboard as well. It shows all the users' details, and in users page we can manage them. If I click this icon, you can see we are able to see user profile, ban the user, and delete the user from here. Down here you can click this user and authentication button. Inside here you can add extra features to your form. For example, you can ask them to add their phone numbers, username, and other stuff that you can see here. And using social connections, you can add other platforms for the user to sign in or sign up. Here are a bunch of other stuff that you can read about them yourself. And the final important one is that you can add your JSON web token. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope this video was helpful for you. So if you want to watch more videos like this, like the video, leave a comment, and give a subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.